How to win at slots has changed. Have you noticed? Since you're watching this, I think you have. Understand that slots hasn't changed, not for a long time, just little bits and pieces, but what's changed is you're learning. For 130 years, slots were taken as random, but they never were. Yes, there's an element of randomness to how slot machines work. But what most people don't realize is that randomness varies. Thoroughly shuffle a new deck of cards. Is that random? Yes, if it's done thoroughly. But remove all the hearts from the deck beforehand, and is it still random? Yes. Throw a pair of dice onto a craps table. Is it random? Sure. But what about dice control experts throwing dice on those special table services they love where the dice don't bounce nearly as much? And it's now being banned in Las Vegas, but still at Foxwoods and now at Mohegan Sun. Yes, it's still random, I guess. and with slot machines, what about those? From their invention by Charles Fay in San Francisco in 1887, back when they were unpowered mechanical devices, they weren't truly random. Why not? Because it wouldn't have been fun to play if nobody won except for 3% of the time. The odds were improved on the invention from being truly random. If they hadn't been, things, there wouldn't be a slots gaming industry today. For example, let's look at the last 2 years of Colorado return statistics for the 3 frontier towns of Black Hawk, Central City, and Cripple Creek. You can effectively see the financial decisions being made by the casinos in these towns. Let me share that for you. Come on. Where are you at? Yes. Okay. I need to find it. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. Okay, I closed them. Somehow in all the preparation, I closed them. Let me bring that up for you and show you that. Okay. So, right. Let's get to this. Share. Right. So if you go to, apologies for the delay. So if you go to professorslots.com, I have a new article, which all of my articles down here, the most recent is shown, Colorado slots return to player, where I look at the return statistics as I sometimes do, and now I'm doing regularly. I'll have Connecticut next week. It's alphabetical in the 19 different states that have return statistics. And I'm doing them alphabetically. I've done a few last year, and I'll update those when I come to it. But if you go to this article, which has an introduction, Colorado slots returns to player, overview, so you understand what's going on, is what kind of theoretical payouts do they have. They don't have any for the commercial or tribal, but they do have return statistics for the commercial casinos. Okay. And I plotted what they have. They don't have them for the individual casinos. They have them for 3 frontier towns, which they wanted to have a recovery of the finances. And so they put in casinos. They allowed casinos, and Colorado voters did all that. And lately there were some changes about this. So there's some details here. This is the plot of 2019, 2020, 2021. And so 3 years worth. And you can see that this is all under the same gaming regulations. And you can see that Cripple Creek, which is the gray line here, maybe you can see my mouse, maybe you can't, depending on what kind of monitor you have or phone. The top line is in gray is all denominations, all casinos in Cripple Creek. And the bottom line, the orange is Central City and the blue is Blackhawk, which is very, very similar. So Cripple Creek, which is Blackhawk and Central City, Blackhawk and Cripple Creek, Blackhawk and Central City are near each other on the map, but Cripple Creek is further away. So they made a change to try to draw people in. That's not random behavior. And this is not random behavior. Let me see if I can find it for you. Skip to this one here. Where are we at? Yes, there's a bunch of different charts. This is Blackhawk by itself. And the bottom row in blue, that's penny slots. That's the returns for penny slots for 3 years. That's a choice. You know, there's more penny slots than anything else. People love penny slots, and so they lowered the odds. And they had one little blip here, and some of the other blips I talk about in the article, but not to get too deep into this. Decisions are made. You know, you can see the financial decisions being made by the casinos in these towns, both what town deciding to do what, are all the casinos in it, and then for each town what they want to do as far as returns. It's a major difference. Look at the scale. Penny returns is around 90%, and it's 2.5% to 4% more for every other denomination that they offer. I mean, wow. That's I try to give people a reference of how much how excited would you be if you got how much of a percentage return? Backflips are worth 2.5% percentage points. If you saw 2.5% percentage points increase, you would flip out. And this is at a minimum of 2.5% below everything else, and in some cases it's 4.5%, which is just like beyond flipping out. So do you see what I mean now? Let me stop sharing. Do you see what I mean now? Just think about how much money you would save by avoiding penny slots in the town of Blackhawk, Colorado. You know, I'm not even getting into the article. I'm not even saying, well, this denomination in this town and this denomination in this town is the best, and this one's sort of tied for the best, and, blah, 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 blah. So, if you're interested in Colorado, feel free to look at that. And within, 19 weeks, I'll have all of them done. I've got like 5 done already. So, about 3 months, I do one a week, and that's what you'll see. Now, right now, the past ones have not had a video. They've only been a website article. So what I plan on doing with this new weekly schedule is to present a video. I know a lot of you are only on YouTube and not elsewhere, so that should help. Okay. We have lots of activity going on. I want to get to a good stopping point. So my point is that my critics say slots are random, and therefore winning slot strategies can't exist. Yet here we see that informed choices matter. A fundamental concept, maybe you've had statistics, a fundamental concept in predictive statistics is that past behavior doesn't determine future results. But that's only for truly random behavior. If we look at the return for penny slots in Blackhawk, you saw it's less, it's 2.5% less than anything else, and in some cases as much as 4.5% less than any other denomination for 3 years running. That's a choice. Want to bet it'll still be the lowest in January 2022? don't take that bad. I have more than just a report on Colorado. I also have reports on Florida, Mississippi, New Jersey, and Indiana. I did those after the pandemic, and I think at least a year after the pandemic on some of them, just so about a year ago, I think I did the last one. And that was to try to give you an idea whether or not they're done recovering. And we saw that they look like they might be. And what I've since figured out, talked to, seen what's going on at casinos is that they recovered about a year ago, and since then they are just pulling in the dough. Las Vegas had the highest revenue ever. Foxwoods is the same way. They're busting records on making money, and that's because they're not giving it back. They said, okay, we had to recover, and let's just keep going, and let's just keep going, and let's just keep going. Okay, we've refilled the coffers after a year after they recovered. They refilled their coffers, and now they're just like, yeah, if you want to get a few new slot machines, slot manager, I guess we can do that. Now that we've had to build an extra building for the money that they were making. So, while you think about that, I need to acknowledge a few donations. Oh my, look at all that. Excitement. Let's see, we have Magpie and thank you, Magpie 11, for the $20 donation. I very much appreciate it. There's an accounting method that people who donate regularly do, which is that the pennies are a count. So Magpie 11 has given me $20 25 times, and that's just wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think we saw this starting with Chuck, who and she says, "Good." Magpie 11 says, "Good morning, winners." And some people took that habit of numbering their $20 donations from Chuck, who is, by the way, the star. He is the individual I interviewed on my most recent podcast. Whether you're on YouTube or you listen to the podcast on your podcast app, it was both on YouTube and elsewhere. And that Chuck is the Chuck that I interviewed. Now, not to be confused with somebody in just over a week who will be a special guest author of a book, the only book that I, besides my own, that I recommend for casino goers. I'll talk more about it later. Casino Fun 101 by Charles Frey, and he is somebody I'm going to be interviewing for about an hour, and on the next podcast episode. But in the last one, Chuck, who's pretty humorous, it's a joy. It's a joy to listen to him go on, and I think that's evident. But he says, "Good morning, all. Giving blood today, listening but not participating." So I just complimented him, but he's not. He's listening, but he's not participating. And then we have Barbara and. Hi, Barbara. Thank you for the $20 donation. It's very much appreciated. It helps support the show and allows me to keep going. Barbara says, use your method for identifying a winning machine. Won $600 more plus what I brought. All right. I won't ask if you managed to get out with your money because that's always the second part that it's like, and now I do what? But I'm so glad that you won. That's what we're going for here. And there are other comments. I think there was a comment last weekend. I didn't have a live stream. I was trying to dig myself out of a rather heavy snowstorm with ice underneath everything. First there's ice, and then for like a day it had freezing rain, and then we got a bunch of inches on it, which you don't normally get in this area. So I was mostly cleaning my driveway with snow plow equipment so I could get out. And that's what I did instead of being here. I much rather would have preferred being here. Let's see. Oh, did you see the thumbnail? It's a picture of Isaac that you might be interested in seeing. In any case, I put that there for you. He had to hold still, and he looked away one time. And so the cat is over here. The saboteur cats who interrupt with the modem sometimes are locked away, and I had to put just I should have a segment on Isaac Watch. Isaac is this tall now, and he is freely going up the stairs. That was yesterday, might have been Thursday, and he just up and down the stairs as much as he wants. And that girl right over there is freaking out because this is their place. So that's Isaac Watch. And right, so Denise says that WinStar has been tight, and that's in Oklahoma, of course. And I'm sorry to hear that. It was okay in January, but not so much in February, which I'd heard was kind of the opposite. Heard from lots of enthusiasts. I hear a lot from them about it being something of the opposite, that January was tight, but then February was loose. So, and there seems to be a lot of buying of slot machines going on. And Magpie 11, for instance, is taking some time off for slots, but she does a lot of testing. She's often in Las Vegas. And so she we have a paid community, and she's our Las Vegas specialist. And welcome, Doug. And anybody had any advantage plays or good luck Vegas recently? It was terrible in January, but I haven't heard from any. They're just mostly people are reeling from that and looking to get back into it. In February, they got stung a bit, so I haven't heard too much lately. And see how that goes. Yep. Magpie 11 says, "Hey Chuck, love the interview." And I told him a few things about some of the comments that I've gotten and shared that with him. So that's wonderful. Hi, Steve. Steve is from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's see. Good morning, Tony. Right back at you. Thanks, Chuck, for saying that the podcast was a good time. I worry about people being like, how many people are listening to this, and what should I wear? And I'm like, we shall see. It's doing better all the time. The podcast is doing better all the time, and just we're not seeing you. What is the title of the interview with? With Chuck, so we can watch episode 155. Oh, right. It doesn't. I don't have Chuck in the title, and so if I don't share this, good. And I'll quickly tell you what it is by going there. It is episode number. Come on, you can do it. My computer is slow today, which is not a good sign. Come on. And I apologize for the slowness today. It's a little bit right. 7 practical ways to take advantage of your casino. Episode number 155. Okay. Yeah, episode number 155. That was Chuck's interview. And Barbara, I asked the question when she said she had won $600. She did reply that she did get out of the casino with her money. That's great. And Nora says, I never get out with my money ever. Well, we don't have much practice. It's not until lately that perhaps we're beginning to win. And a lot of people, don't even know when they've spent the money they brought with them. They just bet until it's gone. And I'm thinking about ways to try to help people. People come to me saying, I need to win. And I say, you want to win, and you need to learn how to leave with your winnings. And they're like, what? And I'm like, and so they come for what they want, and they leave with what they need. Okay, good. So watch for that. And I think ACDC for life says, put it in the bottom of your shoe and don't take it off until you get home. Works every time. Do you walk with a limp? Which is okay. Why Gerald says, why are the slots in Greenville, Mississippi so tight? Because they can. This is a business decision, and so you need to figure out what's going on. One of the reasons why casinos will be tight is because it's just been purchased, but they won't. If it just happened, the new owners are making, they invested a huge amount of money. And so they will, want to get their money back. But it's the old name. It takes 6 months to get the new signs. So the old name of the casino, who doesn't own it anymore, gets a bad reputation because the new owner orders the signs and brings all the levels down. That's just one possibility. So, what corporate decision is there? Now, also, lately, I'm asked this question different times of the year, but just recently we went through the new year, which they could want to start their finances off, good for the new year. So just hit everybody to get that money, coming in for the casino the first part of the year, and they start off with a bang. You don't, but they do. And so there's a couple of things that you can look into. And if you could figure it out, you can then know why not, what other casinos to watch out for, when something positive might happen. I take the things that I learn and I try to find, a response. If they're going to give you a quick hit, they're going to give you quick money on the casino chose to do that, well, then, just go from machine to machine collecting that bit of win, because what they want you to do is stay and spend that and what you brought with you and anything else you might have access to. But instead, I say, keep that money, go to the next machine, go to the next machine, go to the next machine. So, you need to find out if you can, and it's some mysteries, some are always going to be a mystery, but find out what's going on, because they can't sustain that low level. What I like to tell people, it's my strategy 8, is look around. Is anybody, that's what today's topic is about. Look around. Is anybody winning? Then if they're not, why would you expect to? You need to be with others who are winning, because it's not about your luck. It's about what the casino's doing. So, put your hands in your pocket, keep your money in your wallet, and look around and say, nobody's winning. Don't waste your money. Other people are winning. Well, you got a chance. You can still make mistakes, but you got a chance, because you can't expect to win if nobody else is. All right. Did I catch up more or less? Yeah, for the person who was asking about Las Vegas, Magpie 11 said they had some luck at M Casino on a Thursday about a month ago using the 5-pull method. Any good advice in Atlantic City for slots? Cheeto asks, I haven't heard anything. Have you joined the New Jersey Slots Enthusiast group on Facebook to see if anybody's winning? There's a couple of things going on in New Jersey where I'm really kind of wondering, they were hit so hard they were once upon a time, 78, right? They were the slot machines on the East Coast. And then, outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, in the West. And so, but they've just gone downhill since then. Now in 2018, they had a bit of a recovery. We shall see. Get to know your casinos, get to know Atlantic City, and you be the one to tell us what to do. And there's different things to look for, and it needs to be studied. I can't be everywhere. Okay. Bella says strategy 7 and 8 works at the Seminole, Hard Rock, and Tampa. Just in case anyone here goes there, tried this strategy on different days and times. Yes, we have plenty of people who go there. They might be watching the recording later, however. Okay, so getting back to it. Now let's go back to that one thing you can do to improve your slots performance. I've already sort of given it away by saying observe, but for years and years, slots enthusiasts have had no good educational resources. Yes, some slot machine companies have had sales personnel attend gaming industry trade shows and talk about how their slot machines work. Listening to those talks is like reading the 8 to 10 pages of game rules on video slot machines. They're full of misunderstandings and ill-defined words, all designed to be misunderstood, all designed to tell you what you already incorrectly think. But we are beginning to see better answers. Just a few weeks ago, I saw the vice president of Ainsworth on a live stream with another slots channel based in Las Vegas. Did you see that? Besides mentioning cool things like how much an average video slot machine costs, which he said was $20,000, some of the live questions were along the lines of, what are the odds? And he said, oh, the casinos set those. Finally, somebody came right out and said it. Yes, Nevada gaming regulations have a requirement that all slot machines have a theoretical payout lower limit of 75% for each wager. But there's no upper limit. The weekly return statistics in Las Vegas is 93% on average for the whole state, even Las Vegas individually as well. If you've been there, you'll notice it's far worse than 93% on the weekend, and that's to fleece visitors. California comes to visit, as I like to say, and far higher during the week to keep the locals happy. But the week averages out to 93% and not 3% if it was truly a random process. Another bad assumption people make because they don't know any better is that casinos would always make returns as low as legally possible, right? The legal limit is 75%. Well, nail it at 75.1%. That's what a lot of people think. Of course, it's what greedy casinos would use, but that's just not what happens. And you can see that in my 5-6 reports and all the reports that I'll be doing weekly, starting with Colorado, and you can just see what they've chosen to do for their business. And it's not 75%. And we could talk about why, but it's just too low. If you have a 90% return or 93% return, and it seems to be bouncing between those two, depending if you're in Indiana or Nevada, on average, remember it's always on average, then, that that's where they hit it. They choose between those, and it's 3% difference, and 2.5 is worthy of a backflip. Well, if it goes one way, if it goes the other way, it's like a few tears. So some states have a lower theoretical payout limit. Why would casinos ever set a single slot machine to have a theoretical payout limit over 100%? Why would they set them? Why would they choose a machine to set to be where they're not making money? Well, casinos do that when they have a plan. My slots strategy, my slots winning strategy number 9, location takes advantages of casinos that have such a plan. They set up a slot machine, possibly new and popular, with higher odds of winning, to a prominent location with a great view of passerbys. And what? Do they lose money on that machine? Yes. But all the other machines in the area have lower odds than usual. So when passersby get excited by seeing a win on that first machine, they go play those other machines. The casino wins far more with those many, many other slots enthusiasts, playing low odds machines than they did paying out a couple of $1,000 jackpots a few times. To learn to take advantage of casinos like this, as well as a bunch of other things they do, consider taking my online course for improving your slots play, 30 days to play slots smarter and win. With it, you get lifetime access, a free copy of my book, Learning to Win, and spreadsheet templates for slots record keeping for income tax preparation purposes, but also for gameplay analysis. You also get a 1-month free membership to my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, where you'll get community support and accountability. 30 days to play slots smarter and win is discounted at 50% for $100 savings at the moment. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about this well-received course, including a full description of its contents as well as testimonials. The link is also in this video's description. And I think I see a lot happening. So let me just see where we're at on the, my father used to say when I was a kid, discipline. And he didn't teach it, but he said where I might find it and that how important it was. And I was just like, what? And Adrian says, can I simplify that into everyday language? And I don't know who you're talking to, Adrian. Any good advice on Washington slots? I'm working on an article. I had a live stream on Washington slots. It's now been unlisted, but if you keep an eye on my website or the YouTube channel, I plan on having that come out on maybe Wednesday next week. I'd almost gotten it finished this week, but lots of things got in the way. So I do want to put that out there for people. It was well received, if only by people in Washington. They have, for those that don't know, they have a unique setup for slot machines. I mean, a really unique. Even the, that some states have a lottery system run by the state, and it's connected to the slot machine. So they're video lottery terminals. They don't look any different, but that's what they are in some states. And that, New York, Ohio, and there's details on all of this, but that's the draw lottery, like the Powerball is a draw lottery. You pick a number and then they draw the number, so they don't know the answer. But on scratch tickets, there's no random number generator. It's all known. It's just not known to you. And so they have virtual scratch tickets being used in Washington slots. That's the only state that does that. And so they have a unique problem. If you do look at Washington slots, and I really should what I want to do is make another video on Washington slots where I say, hey, all you scratch ticket people, if you want to go to a convenience store, buy 4 or 5 scratch tickets of the same type, and maybe make sure you got decent rules on it, and use the 5-spin approach. on scratch tickets with your little quarter and rubbing off the sticker so you can read it. Don't buy just one, buy 5 in a row. And that's better odds. And so that's one of the things I talk about in my Washington slots article. But there's another thing which is a little bit longer and I can't get into now. And yeah, Christopher, Christopher, I can't answer your question. You said Hard Rock and Hollywood slots. Do you mean Hard Rock Hollywood? Do you mean Hard Rock? Do you mean Hollywood? Do you mean both? Well, that's what my whole channel is about. Everything that I have. Hi, Paula. Paula is our moderator today. Thank you, Paula, for being moderator. Yeah, Seth, in Arizona, it seems like slots are tighter on the weekends and pay better during the week. They might have just picked that up from Las Vegas as the approach that works for Las Vegas, and they could just be pulling that in from there. I've been hearing from people who've been looking for that way to win in Nevada, but going to Reno and finding the same thing. So it's kind of spreading outward from Nevada. And I think okay. I think we're getting to. Oh yeah. Nora, it is always, Nora says that they're placing machines in ways that make it much more difficult to identify which is the winner. I will walk into a casino. This is, what I've been doing. I'll walk into a casino. I'll find the widest aisle. I'll talk about this, and I'll walk down that widest aisle until I come to where it crosses another wide walkway. So I have an intersection. Well, you look at the slot machines at that intersection and you cannot tell which one is the winner, but there's two. There's one for people going this way and there's one for people going this way, which can't be seen by the other group. That's better than looking at 1,400, 1,000, over 1,000 slot machines. Or 4,000 slot machines, depending on the size of your casino. So now you've got 10 to evaluate instead of thousands. It's work. It's still, all this is still work. I think is a here. He is a higher number of progressive slots, still a good golden rule to go by. I don't know. It just what you mean. It's a higher number on progressive slots, still a golden rule to go by. That might be referring to progressive jackpots and a higher number on the progressive jackpots, but you need to be in a casino that uses must hit by approaches, and if it's too high, somebody will win, and if it's too low, then you'll spend more money winning it than you'll make. So, and that's not my golden rule. My golden rule is something else. There's only one golden rule per person. So you sounds like you're talking to somebody else. All right. So maybe you watch my videos. Maybe you've seen all my videos. That's not the same thing as taking a course, which if you've ever taken a high school or college course. That's why I offer a course, because it's a process that it offers a process to winning at slots. And it's far more than an unorganized collection of videos. But if you've watched my free videos, you have perhaps heard of my winning slot strategies. I don't mind you trying them out without taking my course. I worry that you haven't learned how to leave with your winnings, as someone, I don't want to say their name, mentioned already earlier in the live chat, where they won, but they can't keep it. So there's things that you need to know, whether you know it or not, and that's what's in the course. But I don't mind you trying out my winning slot strategies without taking the course. What I do, I worry that you haven't learned to lead with your winnings. So it would have, as you would have if you'd taken the course, but that's on you, right? So what's the one thing you can do to win at slots more often? Look up from your slot machine. Look around. For some reason, there's a song in my head when I say that. Look around. Go for a walk if you can. Find the casino's entrances and exits. Look at the slot machines near them. What's the widest aisle in the casino? As I was telling you before, when you go down it and find where it crosses another wide aisle, perhaps not quite so big, and how are the slot machines situated at this intersection? In a word, the one thing you can do to win at slots more often is observe your casinos. Why? Because it matters. Casinos are set up to be this or that or the other thing. And if you know what to look for, if you know what you're seeing and what it means, then you can use one of my strategies, the one that turns that on its head, turns the tables on the casino. And how do you observe this? Well, I'll tell you what to do. I have been telling you what to do. Have you been watching my YouTube videos lately on my casino trip reports? Sure. The first one was like 5 years ago, Foxwoods. I went to an event and I was there for 3 days and sorry, distracted by my cat. I don't know what you're talking about. I am Zig Delia. This is a slots channel. If you understood the rules of copyright violation, copyright infringement, you can't walk through a casino with a video recorder. And that's how, if I sat down and won, it isn't about sitting down and win. It's about finding the slot machine. So I don't know. Well, keep learning. So have you watched my YouTube videos on my casino trip reports? I walk into a casino, often a new to me casino, and figure it out. I've never been to a casino before. I don't have a contract to take a recording. And by the way, I just can't even walk through the casino. Yes, dear. And a couple of years ago, I did Foxwoods, and more recently, I did Rivers Pittsburgh and other casinos when I was, had some downtime on business trips across the country back before I was laid off as an aerospace engineer a year and a half ago. But during the pandemic, she wants attention. But after the pandemic, lately, I've been going every other weekend. Miami Valley Gaming in Ohio, Hollywood Lawrenceburg in Indiana, Newport Gaming in Kentucky, Hollywood Dayton Raceway in Ohio, Indiana Grand in Indiana. That was last weekend, and I'm 2 weeks ago. Sorry, and I'm planning a trip tomorrow to a Michigan casino, a casino in the Lower Peninsula. I'm willing to say, since it's only a day trip, but I think I know which one it's going to be. I won't say, but I don't want to meet a crowd. But figure out how to win and do that. So this is examples. You may not go. These are website articles. These are videos where I'm sitting in my car after having gone in and figured it out in 2 to 3 hours, and I did that, except at the last one. I got about half of my video in the car done when a security vehicle started making its presence felt about halfway through. So I finished recording when I got home at night that night. Besides the sun had set, it was getting too dark. Anyway, these videos are worth watching, even if you don't plan on going to any of these casinos. Why? Because I explain that one thing. I explain how to look over a casino that's new to me and figure out how to win. It's a skill. You'll get better at it, and you'll get amazing results. because there's something to be found. So that's what you can learn from them, not just that what slot machines and winning strategies to try if you go there, but how to figure out which works, what works. Participants in my online course have had amazing success with this approach. It's not one of my strategies, but rather all of them. Look around your casino. You'd be amazed by what you see. And I'll talk about some of these examples. So to learn more about my 30 days to play slots smarter and win online course, currently at 50% off for $100 savings, visit my website at professorslots.com/30 days for a complete description, testimonials, and the valuable bonuses you get free with the course, including lifetime access, 1 month free access to my Slots Enthusiast Growth Network, support community, a free PDF of my book, Learning to Win, and spreadsheet templates for slots record keeping for income tax preparation purposes, and gameplay analysis. And links are available in the video description. So, apparently, Born Ruthless Tube doesn't seem to quite grasp the concept of copyright violation. So, Steve, do you look at any Keno or video poker? Only in terms of it being a slot machine. In Nevada, I have an article on this in the video as well. I think it came out last week. You have a very specific gaming regulation which says that a video game based on a table game must have the odds of that table game set. Keno, poker, dice, any of those. If they're made into a video machine, it doesn't have a variable payout return. It has the one for the table game. And so if you're in Las Vegas, no, I don't play Keno and video poker. I mean, I know how to, but it isn't about using my slot strategies there. But every other state, I cannot find that gaming regulation or anything remotely like it. And if you're just going to get that in your video poker machine in Connecticut, it's paying extra. And slot machine manufacturers know that you're not going to pay extra. Casino's not going to pay extra for something they don't need. So yes, you do need to play video poker when you play those, but also slots strategies work. Right. So this is not a channel. This is not a slots channel about something other than slots. This is a slots channel. Right. So other questions? Oh, and somebody was saying, why don't I have a channel where using my tips, I'm playing slots? There's plenty of slots channels out there. Slots Ninjas, whatever. They say Professor Slots, blah, and they do it. And they get it wrong. I mean, it's just amazing to watch. You can see them going like, why do they even stay? I don't understand. So they just having fun. You have to be aware that the slots channels that you're talking about don't have any wish to educate you. It's not their business plan. They're there to make money and entertain you, not educate you. My daughter is on the West Coast in California. I hope to move to maybe a suburb of Reno. That's saying a lot. I'm still recovering from being laid off a year and a half ago, but if I do successfully do that in a year or two, then I will be out west. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you for better articulating your question here, Jamie. My apologies for the pronunciation. Okay, what I meant was, is it typically better to play a progressive slot if the major or grand is almost at max rather than playing it if the number is lower. Yeah, I had a come here, you. That's right. If you're going to do that, I'm going to do this. This is Kiri, by the way. If you are at a casino with a must hit by amount, then the casino will force the jackpot to be made available if you go over that amount. But that's a casino setup, except it doesn't have to be must hit by. It can be capped, but it reaches the cap and then you don't win. It's not a must hit by cap. It's just a cap where instead of building on the progressive, the casino just keeps the extra money and the odds don't improve when it's a must hit by cap. And you need to know the difference. Which does your casino have? And the other one is it never stops increasing. It's the third type is a casino, like a progressive jackpot, like a lottery, where nope, nobody won. We're just going to keep on increasing it till somebody wins, and it could go on forever. So there's 3 different setups at a casino, and only one of them is the way to win. You can always win the grand or one of the progressive jackpots, but you want better odds. And if it has must hit by, and you can be there for that instance, you can win it. But you don't want to be too far away from when it crosses over that must hit by amount, because then you might not make a profit or might not make enough of a profit or might even lose some money. So it's one of those things I hope to provide like a calculation, a formula in a future video. It's lots of videos to be done. Nora, I know what you mean. I had many years of practice on a Tetris machine, a handheld Tetris machine where it was all free, where I just could not quit. There's people in college that will bugging their roommates by playing video games all night long and not going to school, and they have half a semester of college, and that's it. And Peter says, am I doomed playing penny slots? No, you're not. There is enough penny machines that they're actually becoming about, it's the most number of machines, except now multi-denomination is becoming about equal number of machines, and where one of the denominations might be 1 cent. And so those two machines, the two groups is the largest number of groups in the casino. So it's likely to be a penny machine that you will find on the corner set to have higher odds, higher than average. But there's many, 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 many lower odd penny machines. So, if you're not using location, if you're not using the casino environment, strategy 8, if you're not using 5-pull method, and if you just straight up playing, if you randomly pick a penny machine with no plan, you saw the low odds. You're not giving yourself any advantages, but you can find which. I used to hate penny machines because I saw the odds and I went, that's ugly. But then I realized there's so many of them that you can find the one that's been set up to win. But you actually have to look for it. If you just pick them at random, that's what you'll get. You'll get the random result. Picking them at random will give you the average response, and the average response is just about sickening. Okay. Okay. I'm glad that you see what I mean about progressive slots. That I have a whole entire video on that. Yeah. There's different things. I'm not trying to give an overview of all my strategies. It would take 8 hours. Actually, I have a 30-day course on it where the first part is just to be able to explain concepts so that when you get to the section on the strategies, you actually understand the words I'm using and what I mean by going to return statistics and what is a return statistic and what is a theoretical payout and how are they different. And I explain all of that. And it's well received. So I think you find some value in it. Yeah, you can find a corner machine, Peter, that has Buffalo machines, and yeah, you can win that way. Yeah, if you go to Foxwoods, I think it's Foxwoods. I don't think it's Mohegan Sun. Someone was telling me last night, Thursday night, they put up a new machine. Buffalo machine, where it's almost like a cave, and you walk in. And sit down, and it's kind of enclosed, and everybody's winning on it. And all the other people are watching it and going to the nearest machine to play because they're so excited. And those are set to lower odds. So this is an example of Foxwoods doing that. And I have a customer, one of my oldest fans, one of my first fans from years ago. I met him in 2018. Anyway, I was like, now you know that casino does that. I did tell you in 2018 that they did that. It's in my article on Foxwoods, and I specifically told him when I was there because I saw it in action. I had to figure all this out, and I had to tell people who are screaming at me it doesn't work that way. and after a couple of years, I was like, all due respect, buddy, but you're wrong. It does work this way, and so now I'm like, okay, that's the thing. People have misunderstood. I don't want to be paranoid and say that casinos have purchased, that slots channels work for them and give you bad information. I don't want to say that, they're misleading people who go to the trade shows. I think they are misleading them, but I think it's like reading the pay tables these days. It's all sort of like, are you saying this or are you saying this? Because you're using, it's feeding into what you think, and they got you to think wrong, and now they're just maintaining it. It's a complicated topic. It's manipulation. I don't mean to shock you. Did you know that casinos manipulate you to play? No, the machine is trying to get you to play longer. No, the multiple people who have said, I can't leave with my winnings. The casino is getting really good at you not leaving with your winnings. If you want to consider them the enemy, maybe that'll help. Maybe you're considering that they, are trying to take something from you. So, this is their best attempt. I should do an article. There's so much to talk about. There's the country of Australia has decided to divulge how games are designed to do that, to manipulate you. And I'm reading those articles and I'm just fascinated so we pretend to, have an advantage play. So you put money in, but you won't get it back, a portion of it, unless you continue to play. And it's all kind of like feeding into this. And, you won't make a profit. You'll just get some of what you lost back, maybe. And it's just, it's in many ways outrageous. I think education I've always treated education as my out. I was born, poor son of an auto worker in Flint, Michigan. Didn't know that in 40 years of all the children would be poisoned from lead poisoning from the water, but it was tough and not much of a future. Highest death rate per 1,000 people of anywhere in the United States, certainly, and for 30 years in violent crime. So I thought, what's my way out of this? How do you win? For instance, how do you win a slot? Educate yourself. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. We are at it. And I think I got to a lot of questions. So, and I could try to answer more of them. I see a question that Kevin H. is my expert on must hit by, and you can read his comment there. But if you're watching the recording, I never make the live stream, the live chat available. And so you have to actually be here live to see those comments. Sometimes I will share what they have. So Kevin always has a good comments on progressive jackpots and the ins and outs. He's what I called in my other video a progressive jackpot specialist, which you need to do to be that kind of slots player, even if a little bit. Otherwise, you're one that not just the casino can take advantage of, but the other players can take advantage of by watching you load up the reservoir in the slot machine and then walk away, not realizing you've done that. And these advantage players swoop in, to take your seat so that they can win money, part of the money that you put in. The casino still makes money, but you lost more and they win a positive result. And that's something to watch for. You can see these people hanging around looking for people who have not educated themselves on the slot machine that they played. All right. So this is the environment that we live in. You are starting to realize it. Good for you. Now, maybe you want to know what is my winning strategy 9, location. If you, in this video right here, which you can see in the recording, but not right now, this is going to explain to you what my video on my winning slot strategy, location is all about. So this is when you see this video right here, click on it and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.